It is Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. As today we are donning our NALS shirts. Plouffe has got his hanging behind him, and I certainly appreciate all the camaraderie we're showing here at John Boy Media. This is ALS Awareness Month. Special shout out to our good friend Sarah Langs, who celebrated a birthday recently as well. I got turned on to this project. Obviously, it's called Project Main Street. I've been good friends with Cubs announcer Boog Shambi Plouffe for quite some time, and he had a friend named Tim Sheehy who passed away 19 years ago because of ALS. And so this has been much more than just a passion project for him. It's something that he has carried through the baseball world. He sends T-shirts to star players, to managers around the league, anybody that's associated with the sport, so that we can continue to spread the word. And I love Boog. He's a great dude. He's a terrific broadcaster, and this is something near and dear to his heart, and it should be to ours as well in the baseball world.
Yeah, even if Boog wasn't attached to this, it's obviously a worthy cause to get behind, but because also he's attached to it, I think a lot of people are very willing to support the cause, get the T-shirts, because he's one of the most respected guys in the game when it comes to that. So shout out.
So we actually have a link in the description. If you'd love to get them, here's the great thing. It comes in whatever your team colors are. So, I've got my Guardians. Plouffe's got his Twins. There's Jake was wearing his Yankees one.
No, that's where it went wrong a little bit, which was great for us. I got the Yankee ones and Jake's size. That's why I'm not wearing it. And Jake got mine. So he's wearing a Twins one today.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So it did actually get reversed. And the reason Plouffe is he is in full support of it. He just can't put the shirt on because it's a Storiali size. But wait a second. It might be big in the biceps area.
Should I put it on right now and just... I can't.
No, I need you to be able to feel good and comfortable because this is a big show. This is a big show, which we're going to give a tip of the cap. If you're not wearing your Twins colors, this guy is. Go get him, Bucks. So that was Byron Buxton, who's been red hot, his 11th homer in the last 19 games. Do you know why I bring that up?
I do know why. I saw a lot of people tagging me in this last night, Chris.
Among those in Twins history who ever had a run like this, 11 homers over 19 games, Kirby Puckett, Harmon Killebrew, Kent Herbeck, Trevor Plouffe. You were that hot in 2012?
The summer of 2012 just continues to give. I'm still riding that wave of success. Just one good run of like 6 weeks. Nailed it. Yeah.
How much fun was it coming to the ballpark?
It was a lot of fun, especially because like at the beginning of the year, I wasn't even playing at all. They converted me to the outfield. I stunk at that. And then just by chance, I started one day at third base and hit a homer. So then I started again and I kept homering. And it literally gave me my career, which I'll always have that run right there. Just really is special to me. Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Good for you, man. Good for you. And good for Byron Buxton. A little tip of the cap. All right. Second straight day. We're going to start our run through 5 topics, talking about a Tigers left-hander. We're not talking about the health of Tarek Skubal, but we're talking about the intent of Framber Valdez. And boy, what a night it was. He ended up giving up 10 runs to the Red Sox. Worst start of his career. He gave up back-to-back homers to Contreras and Abreu. And that's when the story took a wild turn.
Trevor Story's going to get drilled. That's tired. After the back-to-back home runs, Valdez plunks him. And some of the Red Sox coming out. And some of the Tigers coming out. And both benches are emptying.
You can't get them out, so you throw at them. What a joke.
We play a really good brand of baseball here. That didn't feel like it. It's not judging intent. I have no idea. But I know when you go out on the field and you end up sort of in those confrontations, you usually feel like in your right because you're and it didn't feel good being out there. So I understand their frustrations. I understand the moment, and it was a low moment of a frustrating night.
All right, we got a lot to unpack here, but let's start with the words of Valdez's manager, A.J. Hinch. Are you surprised he aired him out like that?
A little bit, to be honest with you, because you do have Framber coming out and saying, I did not do that on purpose. I know what it looks like. Now, you can draw your own conclusions. I think I'm on the other side of the fence there. Sure, I think it definitely looked intentional. There's a couple different reasons for that. You mentioned the homers. It was the only four-seam fastball that he's thrown all year. Sometimes I'm like, how do you really gauge that? But they do. And just like the way it was thrown, the pitch shape, he hadn't thrown one like that all season long. So he kind of had an excuse for that. He said that in the bullpen, the two-seamer wasn't really working, and he had the idea to throw that. So I don't know. I am a little shocked that Hinch came out and said that. You just signed this guy to a big deal, and you're going to have to rely on this guy the rest of the year to be your ace. If I'm AJ Hinch, I'm not trying to save face for me. Like, that's kind of sounds like what he was doing. I have my guys back no matter what. Talk to him behind closed doors about the rest of it and get it right behind closed doors. But public perception, I'm having his back.
Particularly with Framber Valdez. I mean,
Yeah.
you would want to do that for anybody, I think. And I agree with you. If you have to lie in front of a camera and put on a happy face like, hey, you know what? It did get away from him. It was a really, really rough night for him. And that's what I'm chalking it up to. And you're right. If you want to air a guy out behind closed doors, like we just had consecutive bullpen games, you're now going to run the risk of getting ejected. I know you're getting your dick kicked in, but we need you out there right now. And, this is why we pay you $30+ million a year to be that. But then you take it another level because it's Framber Valdez. I mean, we had off-season discussions as to why this guy wasn't getting signed, and we had to sit there and say, is it because he's a crappy teammate? Is it because he crossed up his catcher, even though he claimed that didn't happen? I mean, is this the reason he didn't get signed, even though he's been one of the most consistent pitchers in baseball over the last 5 years? And so now, guess what? The questions are arising again today because his manager went out there and said it.
Yeah, look, I don't know him personally. From an outsider's perspective, it looks like he is a guy that's probably better off with a hug than a kick in the ass. So again, that's the tactic I would have taken if I was Hinch. But hey, he's in there every day. Maybe he's done the other way and trying to be good with him, be nice to him, and maybe he thinks this is the best way to approach it. But again, I just think like a guy that's going to be your ace the rest of the year, your ace going forward, most likely. You might want to have his back in the media. And he has actually been really, really good this year. Besides against my Twins in this game, those are 15 of his 22 earned runs on the year between two starts. Other than that, he's been really good for them.
So you mentioned about what Valdez said. Here's both the reaction of Story and Valdez as to whether or not there was intent.
Intentional.
Yeah. I think we all know what's what, and it's pretty undisputable.
It was not intentional. It was not on purpose. It might look like that, but it wasn't. I was trying to throw strikes after 2 consecutive home runs. I was trying to go back on the zone, and that pitch came out of my hand. So it wasn't on purpose at all. It wasn't.
That is soundbite through an interpreter for those of you that are audio only. Yeah, you're smirking.
I just think it's funny, like those two back to back. And we're going to play something else that's back to back here that I also think is just hilarious. I mean, it truly is like, what's your perspective? Who you rooting for? It's because two completely different sides right there. I'm erring on the side of it was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've stood in the batter's box when you feel like you've been hit intentionally, I imagine, throughout your career at some point.
I never knew I got hit intentionally until 3 years later, but yes.
What does that mean?
I got hit when I broke my rib. I've told this story before. I broke my rib. It sucked. Didn't think anything of it. And then seriously, like, I don't know, maybe even more than that, like 5 years later, Justin Morneau, who was on the White Sox at the time, told me they hit me on purpose for something that happened with Jose Abreu months prior.
That's weird.
So, yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the broken rib, White Sox.
God, that's a dick move.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned
it, by the way.
You mentioned the four-seamer. He had thrown almost 700 pitches prior to last night's game on this season, right? That was the first four-seamer he had thrown.
Yeah, I mean, all signs point to it was intentional. There's no doubt about it.
So now, they get together and they end up ejecting him, and he's going to end up getting suspended. And it might only cost the Tigers one start, but one start's one start for a team that is banged up and has 14 guys on the injured list and is waiting for dudes to return. That's not being a good team. I'm curious how this plays in the clubhouse. Are guys looking at him after last night like, come on, dude? Really?
Yeah, of course.
So
but again, here's the thing. I truly believe it's, especially at this point of the season, you just sign him to a deal where he's going to be there at least through next year. It's got a mutual option in 28 and 29. It's your teammate. And sometimes you just gotta have their back, man, because he's going to be here, and to be successful, you need Framber to be Framber. So there are times where you just got to say, all right, dude, I might not like what you're doing, but you're going to affect my life substantially over the next few years. I'm going to have your back. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get better, whatever it is. You got to be positive with them. Maybe initially give him a little, hey man, we can't be doing that. But other than that, you got to have his back. It's just the way it is.
So I'll bring up the name Jack Flaherty. Jack's been a very successful pitcher at this level. He has won a ring before. I think he's pretty well respected around the game. He's a fellow member of the rotation. Does somebody like that need to sit down with him? Do guys need to talk to him and make him understand the importance of what is going on at this time? Or do you just kind of let it be and whatever, let him roll and go do his thing?
I think Jack will be one of the guys that talks to him. I also think Kenley Jansen's probably a really good resource there. A guy who, there's nobody more respected in the game of baseball than Kenley Jansen. I know he hasn't gotten up to a great start this year. The track record speaks for itself. I think he's probably the guy that'll do it. And then, some part of the coaching staff, whether it's the pitching coach, whether it's Hinch, I think we'll sit him down. But again, you have the initial talk, and then it's support after that.
Wow. All right. What did everybody think of this? Intentional, not intentional? Do we think that Framber's like this loose cannon? Heck, would you want him on your team? Even if he was available, let's say he was a free agent again after this year. Would you want him on the Twins?
I would. Because I think you're talking, if I was part of the organization, that's what I'm thinking. Yes. I would find a way to get breakthrough. I would do it. I would be, again, we said AJ Hinch might be the guy to be able to handle this. And I said during the offseason, my take was I will be lining up as a manager and saying, give me that guy. I can manage him. I can manage the personality. I thought AJ Hinch was going to be that guy. Maybe this is him doing it by calling him out. Maybe this is his version of that. We'll see how it plays out, but I'd
over everything.
Challenge for sure.
Talent over everything, for the most part. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. I mean, there aren't a lot of guys.
Dude, here's also the thing, and people are probably going to just be blowing me up for this, but guys back in the day hit dudes on purpose all the time.
It's true.
All the time, and we were like, "Oh, this guy's he's so mean out there. He's bulldog mentality. Like the crossing the catcher up is way different." But like we saw guys throw at people all the time and didn't think anything of it. It's gone away. Great for the game. I don't want anybody thrown out on purpose, but like this has been part of baseball since its inception, essentially. My guy, what did I do? Will White, go check out his baseball reference page. Guarantee he hit some people on purpose.
That's funny. Very funny. Two other quick things before we do move on. Did you see Abreu? So he's got the Wally green head in the dugout, and then he realizes that Story gets hit, and he takes the thing out. I wish he had run out on the field with the Wally head on.
That's so good. I
Right?
didn't see them with the Wally helmet on. I only saw him like going and looking outside at the field. I was like, oh yeah, he's ready to fight. I didn't know he had that on. That's hilarious.
Oh, that would have been great. Would have loved it. There was one other clip that was floating around via social media. Garrett Cole in his 4th rehab start as he's trying to work his way back to the Yankees rotation. So he was facing Caleb Bonham, who's one of the White Sox big prospects. He went deep earlier in the game and then got hit. And everybody's saying, well, of course, why would he do this? A guy who's as decorated as Garrett Cole, zing it right in the ribs. Does that look intentional?
I want to see the homer. Did this guy do something silly?
I don't think so. I mean,
Do we have the homer? Can we get it?
Yeah, we can get it. We can get that because that was out there too. I mean, I think he was fired
very
up.
Odd for Garrett Cole right there.
It doesn't look great, does it?
He's a location guy. Like, he's a pitcher with stuff, obviously, but
What
did
about
the guy do something silly around the bases or what?
He's 20 years old.
That doesn't matter. You're a pro. Be a pro. If this guy, did something like bat flipped or went crazy around the bases, I could see Garrett Cole be like, you know what? Let me teach you how it is in the show, big guy.
Oh God. Will Middlebrooks said in that clip, well, that was so tired. This is tired if he's doing it intentionally.
Okay, he ran out of the box right there.
He did run hard out of the box, and you'll see him circling the bases. I don't think, he's pointing to his guys in the
he didn't do anything.
bullpen. It didn't look bad.
No. This is very strange for Garrett Cole, though. I'm going to say not intentional.
Huh. I think you're a dissenting opinion on that one.
You think it was intentional?
I don't know. It looked pretty bad to me.
It looked like it was intentional, yes.
Like it was 4-seamer, 97, right to the ribs.
No reaction.
No reaction. 0. Give me the next ball. I don't know. Let us know where you sit on that whole thing in the comments section. Man, chippy
what does Dan
show
think?
today. What does Dan think? Dan says he hopes it's not intentional, but
he's lost his edge, man.
If he's saying that means that diehard Yankee fan thinks it was intentional. But y'all can have an opinion too. I have this opinion that today's episode is sponsored by National Car Rental. Have you ever noticed how some people just have travel figured out? They're on the fast track and already in the driver's seat. Everybody else is still checking in. Kind of feels like they're winning at travel. And honestly, they are, because when you rent with National Car Rental, you show up feeling like a winner before you even get into the game. And winners know something great is waiting for them in the on-deck circle, like an effortless car rental experience. With National's Emerald Club, of which I am a member, you skip the counter, choose any vehicle on the Emerald Aisle, and go straight to your car you actually want, traveling on your own terms. That means more speed, more choice, total control over your trip, the way travel should feel, because renting with National isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about arriving like a winner and driving off like one too. Win at travel. Rent today at nationalcar.com. I will actually be using that on my trip tomorrow. I will head right to the Emerald Aisle. They will say, Mr. Rose, your choice of cars is over there. I don't have to do anything. I get in my car. I drive out. Voila. It is easy peasy. All right, so I want to stick on this whole Red Sox-Tigers fiasco because I felt like the two regional broadcasts were fascinating in the way that they handled this. So you've got Dave O'Brien and Will Middlebrooks, first off, for the Red Sox. And then on the back end, you're going to hear Jason Benetti and Andy Dirks.
No, the one guy who caused it's hiding in the back.
That is weak. You give up 3 home runs, back-to-back shots, and then you drill Trevor Story.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't cross up his catcher now that he's mad.
If you're the Red Sox, I understand why you're mad.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean he should be ejected from the game.
It's fine for the Red Sox to get mad, but them complaining shouldn't then lead to an umpire's decision to throw the starting pitcher out of a ball game. That's nonsense. Because now why don't we just complain about everything? Huh? If that's how it's going to be, That's what they're opening Pandora's box right there. I'll go complain about every little detail, and you need to overturn everything. Do it my way. I hate that.
Oh, the former players, Middlebrooks and Dirks, were fiery. Where do you lean on this?
Well, I actually agree with both of them. It was tired, and it was a joke that you're standing in the back of a scrum, and I do agree that he did cross up his catcher, and I think Will Middlebrooks made some great points. I was actually texting with him last night about it. I said, "Man, sound like you wanted to get down there in the scrum, big guy." But also, I agree. Like, there's no warnings, and now the umpires are saying, "Yeah, we felt like it was intentional." That doesn't happen very often. Without warnings, ejecting a guy does not happen very often. So and especially if you're a Tigers fan, and local announcers are fans of the team. Okay, they are. And like you mentioned, like, they're going through with their pitching. They understand what that means for the bullpen if Framber's out after 3 innings. I get both sides here. I lean on the Red Sox side of it. It is tired. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I have. But also, like, leaving the umpires to make those decisions before they give warnings, like, I don't like that either. So that's a tough one for me. I'll lean Red Sox. I'll lean Will Middlebrooks. You won this one.
Will Middlebrooks gets an A+.
Yeah.
That even though, yes, you're fans of the team for which you're calling the game for, and that's a whole nother discussion that we could have, he nailed it. When he stuck him with the jab about the Salazar cross-up last year, Will, that's when you took your game to another level. I loved that. I thought that was great. I want to go on the record as saying I think the Tigers broadcast might be my favorite going right now.
I do like Andy Dirks.
I think he and Benetti are phenomenal. They are so, so good. I don't think it came off great. All right. Umpires are allowed to get together, and do I think that they threw him out because the Red Sox said something about it? I don't think that happened. I think they got together. I think they looked at the scenario, and I think they wanted to be very careful with it when they didn't first issue warnings. That they really want to make sure. So, did it warrant an ejection? Yeah. Like, if I were an umpire and I had seen how the game was unfolding, I would have probably tossed him too. And I don't think that it would have been the Red Sox bitching that would have gotten it done. So I think although I understand why he said what he said, I don't think he's right. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's Framber, you're putting everyone in a bad situation, bro. Clean it up.
Yep. And including the announcers,
including our guys, Jason and Andy. Yeah.
Have you had one of those yet in the booth?
Yeah, it was I don't think it was intentional, but it was a Pirates reliever who just had no idea where the ball was going, and he hit like 4 guys within like an inning and a third, and I was like, you got to take him out now. It's a danger to like the sport. This guy clearly has no idea where the ball is going. Get him out of there, and they ended up doing it. So
yeah.
You got to call it how you see it sometimes. Like,
absolutely.
You're not ready to pitch on a big league mound right now. Get this guy out of here. Yeah.
Right. 100%. Okay. Let us know what you thought about each call there. Red Sox, Tigers. And I want to reiterate, I do, like, if I had a power ranking system of broadcast booths, I think right now I've got the Tigers as 1. I know that there's some other teams. Oh, no, Rose, you moron. They're not nearly as good as my team. Got it.
San Diego's great.
I
assume I'm not in the running because I don't do enough games.
Oh yeah, you don't have enough at bats to qualify.
I don't have enough at bats to qualify. It's fine.
That's all it is. That's all. I actually think that we
Give
are
me
at
a chance, coach.
I will say this. I think we are at a great time in baseball play-by-play broadcast.
Ask me to tell you a story after the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. I really
Sorry
think
for our listeners.
I'll add this. I think the Yankees booth is excellent. I think you put Michael Kay with a lot of different people. I think Michael does a phenomenal job.
Agreed. I like them too.
But I think we're in a real good spot. Like when you talk about the top 10, you could kind of mix it up and be like, yeah, I could make an argument for any of them. And I don't think that's the way it's been in the last 2 decades. I think we really have some talented young play-by-play people who mix in with a lot of different analysts throughout the year, which I think is good. I think it's great for us as a baseball audience. Don't you like it that you only do 30 games a year or whatever you do?
If the schedule was better, I would want to do it every night.
You would, huh?
I love it. I truly, truly love it. And I think obviously that's when you get the best, is if you're just going night after night. You're like there. But it's just too much travel for me, man. I gotta be a dad.
Yeah.
Husband and dad first.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's better for listeners, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I think there's a great familiarity with the play-by-play person. I think the analyst should max out at 100 games.
I could see that.
Because I want different perspective.
Yeah, there's only so many things you can say as a color guy, where like you're explaining your thoughts on the game and like your beliefs essentially is what you're putting out there. And yeah, you end up getting repetitive. It allows me not to get repetitive because I don't do as many games. But I can see how that would be an issue.
And I think that every broadcast should have the ability to plug in position players and pitchers. I think it's really important. Change the perspective. We learn something as fans. I think it's great for those guys to stay fresh. But you can let me know. Maybe I'm wrong in the comments section. That would be cool. All right, today's episode sponsored by Monarch Money. Summer literally right around the corner. It's next month. And honestly, the last thing anybody wants is to spend weeks planning a vacation only to stress about whether they can actually afford it. It feels a heck of a lot better heading into summer knowing that money is handled, so the focus can stay on the trip and not on the budget. Monarch is the personal finance app that tracks everything. I'm talking about accounts, investments, savings goals, spending. Get your first year of Monarch Core for half off, just $50 with the promo code TODAY. So you're probably asking, what's great about Monarch is that it keeps an eye on everything so you don't have to. And with its AI assistant feature, you can ask anything about your finances, like, how much did I spend on travel last summer? Can I afford this vacation without touching my savings? That way, you can stop stressing about affording your vacation and start looking forward to it. Use the code TODAY at monarch.com to get your first year of Monarch Core half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com. The code word is TODAY. This is especially helpful, by the way, for young people out there who don't have much experience planning finances financially. Go do that. Any little service can help. All right. Astros got some official bad news on Wednesday morning. Carlos Correa is done for the year. He will have season-ending surgery on a torn tendon in his left ankle. Deals another severe blow to the club. Chandler Rome of The Athletic, who covers the Astros, was the first to report it. Really oddball injury. It happened when he was taking pregame batting practice on Tuesday. Correa said he felt a pop, went down in pain. This is a club that, much like the previously discussed Detroit Tigers, has been ravaged by injuries this year. Is this the final blow for the Astros?
Oh, I hate to do it to them. The offense has been what's kept the Astros afloat throughout the year. Carlos has been a very good offensive player this year to go along with like Christian Walker resurgence and Jordan just being one of the best hitters we've seen in quite some time. I don't want to bury him just yet, Chris. I don't want to bury him just yet. Offensively, I think they can figure it out still. I still think there's enough. Pitching has to. I don't know what they're going to do there. I don't know. Maybe they're already buried, and this is just bringing everybody to realize that. I want to say no, but the more I think about it, it's going to be a. If this was the National League, I would definitely say yes. But the American League is so wide open, so I can't say. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
Well, I didn't have much faith in the Astros being a playoff team regardless at the beginning of the year. With the way that things have gone in the American League, it has opened things up severely. But let's look at what Correa just means. And you can't just look at the statistics, in my opinion, to get the full breakdown of what Correa means to this particular squad. Defensively, obviously he's been filling in at shortstop while Peña's been banged up. It sounds like he is very close to returning, which is great. The fact that they did not trade Paredes is enormous, right? We thought that he was going to be on the move in the offseason. that they held on to him and kept his bat is going to be enormous because he'll be the everyday third baseman. But Correa is a guy that he's the leader of that team, bro. You know it as well as anybody. You saw it in Minnesota the last couple of years, how people can have whatever thoughts they want to have about Carlos Correa out there. I am telling you, and you can tell it even more so than I would rather have you say it. How well respected is he by current major leaguers that are teammates of his?
So he's a very much a professional guy, like goes in, does work, not afraid to be in front of the camera. We saw that from the get-go in his career where he kind of got thrust into that role on the Astros as a young pup because the other guys weren't fucking stepping up and he did. So he's had that trait forever. Yeah, I think he means a ton, especially in Houston. He did a really good job in Minnesota, but I think in Houston it's almost multiplied just because of the history that he has there. So, yeah, look, Jeremy Pena is, I believe, on a rehab assignment.
He's right there
as we speak. So that's going to help. I don't want to bury him just because, like I said, the American League. I mean, how many teams do we have over 500 right now?
3.
I think it's 3. It's tough to bury a team in a league that's not doing it, Chris.
Yep.
It's the only thing. If we're talking National League where there's 5 teams over 500 in the NL Central alone, it's a different ballgame.
Right. So I guess that's why I would agree with you that even though I didn't have much thought about the Astros going into the year, that I'm having a real hard time figuring out who's decent and who's just really struggling at this point. But this is a critical blow. And really it means that Jose Altuve's got to wake up. I mean, he's got to be significantly better. This offense has been carried by literally 2 guys, right? Alvarez and Walker. And Correa, who was hitting at the top of the order, now they're going to have to, are they going to put Altuve back up there for good? I guess. He's got barely a 700 OPS, I think. So he's got to get back. He's not going to get back to peak Altuve, but he's got to get back to Altuve-ish, which is something that he has not been this year. But as far as what?
Don't sleep on Christian Vasquez and the numbers he's put up so far
He's
this
put
year.
in
How about that
role? And by the way, Yainer Diaz just went down too. So yeah, he's going to get much more bats, and he has played very, very well. The offense has not been a problem. It's been the pitching staff that has just been horrific. ERA in the mid-5s collectively. Now Hunter Brown is throwing, so hopefully he gets back at some point soon. Josh Hader, I think, is close to making his season debut. So all of this is going to help them significantly. But the part they're not going to have is plugging Correa in the leadoff spot, having his outstanding defense at third base, and the guy still can rake. They're going to really miss him.
So like these reports of the bad ankle were like legit.
Yeah, it must have been.
We saw so many that we almost got numb to it. Like, what? He seems fine to me.
Right. But it wasn't an ankle in Minnesota, right? When he was hurt, or was?
Like before, like them signing him and going through all of that, like to the Giants when they took away his contract, it was the ankle.
Right. But it was the ankle in Minnesota that bothered him too?
I think he ended up getting like plantar fasciitis as well.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Which might be a when you hurt one thing and you're compensating it maybe leads to something else.
It's a tough go, man. That is a tough go. Astro fans, how we doing today? I think we got some Astro fans out there still. Let us know. All right, it's time right now for Pack in the Park, where we look at players and storylines that are getting fans into the stadium. It is brought to you by SeatGeek. Well. Phillies are back as Bryce Harper is bricing yet again.
That one's it well. Out toward right center field. Going back is Thomas. Out toward the wall. Gone! Home run, Bryce Harper! His 8th of the year.
Yep. Sure was. This team's rolling. 7-1 since Donnie Baseball took over. Should the rest of the National League officially be on notice?
I think so, because things are happening on kind of like all sides of the ball for Philadelphia right now. Um, they're not the biggest thing. Look, the hitting has been great. Bryce Harper is starting or he's been pretty consistent since maybe the first week of the year. I think he started off slow. He's been
I
great.
thought you were going to say since he was 6.
Yeah, I mean that also, and probably before that, he's been consistent his entire freaking life. He's just a ball player, no doubt about that. Schwarber's doing Schwarber things, but the offense really coming to life since Rob Thompson came over, or not came over, excuse me, since Rob Thompson got fired and Don Mattingly took over. But I think the biggest thing is the starting pitching has been so much better, or the pitching in general. 19 runs giving up in that span. So I did the math, 2.7 runs per game. During this streak, that's going to win you a lot of baseball games. So if you're Don Mattingly, you're like, dude, do I just have the magic touch? All of a sudden, Jesus Luzardo's an absolute stud, like the guy that we expect him to be. Aaron Nola has a great start. Okay. I don't know what Donnie Baseball's done, but he's got the boys playing on both sides of the ball. So I know we just kind of said this about the National League and how good it's been. But the Phillies, I think, just have too much talent, where even though they're 4 games under 500 and they're still buried in the NL race, if you will. I think they'll be there by the end of the year. I do.
Well, they are buried in the NL East race. I think they're 9 games back. Let me see here, of Atlanta, 9.5. So they're tied right now with the Marlins and the Nationals at 9.5 back. They're 16-20 overall. As far as the wild card goes, they're 4 out. Cool. Yeah. Be on notice, because this is a damn good team. Zach Wheeler's back. That's great. Christopher Sanchez was amazing last night with 8 prime innings, 10 strikeouts again. And you mentioned the rotation. A 1.8 ERA since Mattingly took over. The starters had an ERA. Remember, they got swept on that by the Braves on that Sunday night game. And at that point, they had an ERA over 5. So this has been a major, major change for them. They're going to be in good shape moving forward. I know when we were discussing the Phillies and the Mets, and I said the Phillies could get back into it, and I didn't believe in the Mets. They're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you saying yes to the Phillies and no to the Mets? Because they're better. And here's your answer. This is it. They're more talented. I believe in them. I believe in their veterans. I believe that they can get shit straight. And when it comes time, to me, the question is whether or not they can get it straight when they get to October. But I think they're getting to October, and it'll most likely be as a wild card. And who knows? Maybe they'll be the top wild card by then.
Yohan Duran came back last night.
Yep.
That's a big one for them as well. Not a great outing for him. He walked 3 guys, ended up giving up a run. But we know the kind of pitcher that he is. That's a big help to them as well.
Yep. All right, Philly fan, how confident are you moving forward? Anybody else in the National League scared of these guys or not? They too old? Is that what it is? They're not veteran. They're old. That fine line I like to talk about. Use the code BASEBALL2026, 10% off your next set of tickets, available at SeatGeek. All right, Dodgers, they continued their inconsistent play as of late, particularly offensively. Now, Shohei, really good on the mound last night in a 2-1 loss down in Houston. He only gave up a pair of solo shots in 7 innings, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. As I mentioned, he took the loss overall. But it marked yet another game where Shohei pitched but did not hit. He has been slumping as of late, so he was asked if it was frustrating that he couldn't help the team in late game situations offensively.
Offense, including myself, hasn't done a great job scoring runs. And if there was a situation where, if I was hitting well, I'm sure the team would want me to pitch and hit as well. But I understand in a situation where, hey, just focus on pitching, turn the page on the hitting. I understand that the team is, might think like that.
Do you understand what the team is thinking?
I go back and forth on this one, Chris. I do think early on in the season, I'm okay with it. I think when we get towards the end of the season, they'll change course. I think he will end up hitting. I don't know if they've come out definitively and said that what their plan is. I haven't seen that. But I do think by the end of the year, we're going to have Shohei pitching and hitting because they're going to want him to do that obviously in October. So eventually he'll get to it. I don't really have a problem with him, them using him the way they are right now. We know the Dodgers are going to be in the playoffs. We know they're going to be okay. I don't think they have to worry about a little bit of an offensive, cool period in May. Like, they're just that good of a team. I do want to take this opportunity to say one thing real quick. We talked about Tarek Skubal and about, like, is he going to go gung-ho when he comes back? Like, the guy that they rely on so much, the way they used him towards the end of the year into the playoffs. And one Tigers fan pushed back. He's like, they really haven't used him like that, like you think. And I was like, oh, in my mind, and maybe it's just the fact that they relied on Tarek Skubal so much that you got to win Tarek Day, essentially. Mm-hmm. Chris, they have not used him wild at all. Like, he's pitched on regular rest the entire time, even in the postseason. They've never used him in relief. He's gone over 100 pitches, like 5 or 6 times in his career. So they're not pushing him pitch-wise either. So I do want to apologize to the Tigers organization for, I think I misrepresented the way that Tarek Skubal has been used. And maybe in my mind, it was just like, wow, they really rely on him. But they have used him correctly.
Okay. Thank you for getting on the record.
Yeah.
Before I head back to Shohei, I will give Tigers fans this morsel of information. I talked to somebody who's pretty close to Skubal yesterday and said he thought he was going to be back in 2 months. That would be the short end of this deal. And I think that would be great for the Tigers if they could get him back shortly, maybe around the All-Star break. That would be a big deal for them. So that's what I heard. Anyway, let's get back to Shohei. He is in an 0-for-17 skid. His last hit came when he went 3-for-5 in an April 27th game. He has not hit in 3 of his last 4 starts. Dave Roberts was pressed again on that last night. And he said, look, there are times where we have to get him rest so that he can be the best he can be, both on the mound and as a hitter. And I've got no problem with them doing it. I think we've just been so spoiled to see him do both, when he's been healthy enough to pitch, obviously, that we're just used to it. And we just chalk it up as like, boy, and then we saw it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. We were like, God, that was weird. I think we have to understand it, right? They have to get Dalton rushing at bats. They have enough guys.
That's crazy to say.
What's that?
We have to sit Shohei so Dalton Rushing can get at bats.
But it makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, he's doing great now. I don't think that's the reason they're doing this.
No. They're not.
Yeah.
They're doing it primarily to get Shohei rest.
Yes.
And when you are in the middle of a slump, let them focus on the pitching. We'll take care of you. They just haven't taken care of business. They've all been crappy offensively.
Maybe you say he's in a slump because he's not getting all of the at-bats.
But
I don't believe that. No, I don't.
He's getting all of the at-bats.
I don't believe that. I'm just saying.
He doesn't get it 1 out of every 6 days or whatever they use him.
All this talk about his hitting, he's been phenomenal on the mound.
Phenomenal.
I mean, last night was his worst start. He finally gave up homers. He hadn't given up a homer in his first 5 starts. He had 2, but still an ERA under 1. That leads the league. A WHIP 0.811 after that last start. That leads the league, or leads the big leagues, excuse me. He's just different.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Let's see how many. Yeah, so he's thrown 6 innings of start still. He's at 37 innings and through 6 starts. Yeah, he's amazing. God, he's so good. Fun. But the offensive numbers are not looking good.
I'd kill for those offensive numbers.
I know you would, but we're. So if I go over under 920 OPS on the season for him.
Oh, over.
He's a long way from that right now.
Dude, he's 814 in May. He's fine.
Just saying,
he's a career 952 guy.
That's incredible.
The on base is still there. It's 382 right now. 432 slug, which is about 140 points under his career average. The homers are coming.
Woo! Since he really became Shohei though in 2021, His lowest OPS is 875. That's his lowest.
Since he's been a Dodger, he's one dotted it every single year.
Well, he's only been there 2 previous years.
Okay.
But yes. How about the fact that he's hit 109 homers in 2 years? I guess he's fine if you're into this stuff like that. I guess. Whatever. Today's episode sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip. Why not make the most of it? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western is there for every detour, destination, unexpected twist and turn along the way. Hey, a great stay isn't just about where you sleep. It's about where the journey takes you next. And when you stay 3 nights at Best Western, you're going to receive a $50 gift card to use for your very next stay. Best Western simply gets it. Traveling is not one size fits all. So whether you're looking for a next great adventure, some time to unwind, making memories with friends and family, Best Western helps you achieve your travel goals. Doesn't matter if you're traveling solo or with your friends or with the entire roster, Best Western got you covered. So pack your bag, queue up the playlist, book more of what matters most. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. What?
You can't just make up a jingle.
Feel free to use it, Best Western.
Rob Dyrdek used to do that. He was a jingle master back in the day. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Who did that?
Rob Dyrdek, Fantasy Factory, Robin Big, former pro skater who's now just like a crazy entrepreneur. He had a show. I think it was and Ridiculousness, which is like he's earned so much money off that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing MTV plays. He had a show where he was just doing jingles for everybody.
Was it good?
He's great. He was actually great at it. Yeah.
I feel like I could come up with some good jingles.
You and Rob Dyrdek, I think, shockingly would hit it off.
How old is he?
I bet you guys are close to the same age. Let me look it up. I actually don't even know how old you are.
Okay. Thank you.
That's actually, it is a compliment. His age is 51. Your
right neighborhood, wrong street.
50 what?
A little older.
Okay.
Double nickel.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. If I got rid of the stupid gray beard, I'd look way younger. For some reason, I still have it.
Shout out Rob Dyrdek. I think he's one of like the guys that like is universally liked as well, which doesn't really happen.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Once again, appreciate everybody supporting the End ALS t-shirts. We've got the link in the description for Project Main Street. It would mean an awful lot to those of us here at John Boy Media and Boog Shambi, who does such a great job, and Sarah Langs and all the wonderful people around baseball. You know, next month we're going to be celebrating Lou Gehrig's Day. So, you know, let's do our part if we can. Certainly if we can. All right, back at it again on Thursday. The Daltonian is going to be sitting in for me as I have a little travel coming up. Cannot wait. But then I will see everybody on Friday from a new locale. You can find out where. It's going to be awesome. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, and whatever Framber Valdez's intentions were, you can leave in the comments. I am Chris Rose. We'll see you Thursday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.